WDLC Country and Community. And just over a week away, we are getting ready for the Port Jervis Soapbox Derby, and the assistant director, Wayne Addy, with us this morning to let's just get caught up, see what's happening. What's the buzz? How are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. How are you? Thanks for having me
Yeah,
today.
good. I'm good. I'm feeling it because we're getting ready here with our broadcast. You all are getting ready for on-site for the Port Jervis Soapbox Derby. Or the Derby, what do you call them? Racers.
Yeah, they're racers. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Now, are we still practicing? What does that look like? Because they can't take up the city street.
They might be practicing on their own at home, which I hope a lot of them are, as long as they're being safe about it. Yeah, we can't block off the city streets too many times. So our next practice is actually coming up next Saturday, June 7th. That's actually the final practice. Drivers will be on the hill on Sussex Street from 1 to 4. And then that's car impound day also. What we actually do is we look at the cars, we make sure that all the bolts and nuts are in the right place and the cars are ready to go. And then they actually kind of stay with us. We actually have our legislator, Tom Fagione. He comes down and he donates his time, and he stays overnight with the cars as our security. So they actually stay right on Sussex Street, and we watch them overnight. And then the next morning, Sunday, June 8th, kids arrive. We're definitely going to be racing by 8:30. We've got a big field, 90 plus. So we're definitely going to be racing by 8:30. But the kids will probably be on the hill in the area of 7 o'clock-ish. This is probably the first they've heard that. So
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them will be shocked this morning when they hear that. But they'll have that official email here shortly once we figure out what our day is going to look like and how many times we got to go down the hill. But yeah, we're excited. It's getting close.
I know. You can feel the excitement. So 7 o'clock early, got it. But I have a feeling they're probably going to be all amped up and ready to go.
No doubt.
For the most part. So you got the pit crew. You get everybody checked out. What is the criteria? Does it have to be so long, so high?
Well, they are a kit car. Again, 3 divisions: stock, super stock, masters, and then, of course, our super kids division. But the cars themselves, they have to be a maximum weight. So a stock car can be a maximum with the car and the child of 200, the super stock 240, and the Masters 255 pounds. So, as long as the cars are put together per spec of Akron, obviously there's a handbook and a guidebook that shows you how to do that, and the cars are within their weight limit, they're pretty much ready to go. Oh, and then one thing that they have to do is everybody received a brand new brake pad when they came to the first practice, and that new brake pad, which is very important so they can stop the cars at the end, needs to be affixed to the bottom of that car. And other than that, they're ready to rock and roll.
Oh, you're not kidding. Front brakes and back brakes on the cars?
Yeah, actually, no, it's actually a plunger. It's like a plunger right in the middle of the car. They push the brake pedal down, and this rod, it's just like, pushing down on a plunger, goes straight down to the ground with a 4x4 rubber pad at the bottom of it and stops those cars nicely.
And it goes pretty quick. What is the fastest that you've known?
Miles per hour, our hill it's probably right around 26 miles an hour, I think. I've seen some fast soapbox cars. My son, when he was younger, we actually went and looked at the hill out in Walden, New York, and they wanted him to go from the top. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with Walden, but it's really steep and it goes right down past the police station there. And I think they clocked my son doing about almost 45 miles an hour, and that's way too fast.
Yeah. I know that road. I know that's a very steep hill going up and then flying down. Oh my gosh. So we're getting ready for Sunday, June 8th for the Port Jervis Soapbox Derby. Wayne, let's talk about the community and the supporters for the Derby.
It's great to mention them. I mean, our presenting sponsor this year, once again, Tri-State Drywall and Acoustical. Those guys have been with us for so many years now, and we really appreciate it because, without them, this Derby can't be possible. I mean, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of parts to it. So we really appreciate Tri-State Drywall and Acoustical. We have Little Pediatrics and O'Connell Medical Urgent Care. We have M&T Bank, Cornerstone Family Healthcare, All County Mechanical Plumbing and Heating, Marion Cooper Foundation, and also Royal Furniture this year. So big shout out to those guys. I mean, they make it happen. I mean, it's not an inexpensive event to put on. And it's also not inexpensive to go to Akron and have an all week, expense paid vacation. So let's say it's vacation, but obviously it's work once they get out to Akron. And then we also this year, we have, if you Facebook friends out there in Facebook land, we actually have an online auction which benefits the Derby for scholarships, because all these kids right now that are actually running this Derby and have run the Derby in the past, once they go on to either trade school or college or military, they're actually able to put in for a scholarship for the Soapbox Derby. And we have an online auction going for that right now. It started, I think, on the 23rd, and there's Giants tickets and Legoland tickets and all that stuff. And you can find that on our Facebook page. You can just link to that there. So we've got that going on. So like you said, it's busy, busy, busy. We're only a week away, and there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, there sure is. There sure is. That's exciting. So we'll check in next week, right? Almost on the eve of the Derby as, we count down the days. So thanks, Wayne. I appreciate it so much. Your time. And, say hi to everybody and all the racers. Good luck. And, we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And there he goes. There goes friend of the show, Wayne Addy. Port Jervis Soapbox Derby. Back with more on WDLC Country.